Right, so I'm just gonna go through the kind of my like marathon process. So started about a year ago, and I was at university, and then one of my mates I was living with for years one and two. He was away on placement, but then he come back down to Southampton to take part in the London Marathon, in the Southampton Marathon. And so we went down, done a little sign, went down to support him. I was hungover. I remember it was like a really hot day, and I just felt like absolute shit. Anyway, we got breakfast in there, Sainsbury's cafe, then made a little sign for him in the cafe, and then we went down and cheered him on. And I just had a moment when I was cheering him on, and I was like, why am I on this side? Like, why am I not doing what he is doing? Why am I not doing more? So shout out to Andre, by the way, one of my best mates. But that kind of like started it in my head, and then that thought like he's doing all of this exciting stuff, and then I'm over this side, I just like cheering him on. And I didn't want to be on that. I didn't want to be on that side. I wanted to be the one pushing myself. So I didn't start running until a fair few months later. Literally about I started running in, it was like January. So about, what's that, about 5 months ago. So I've not been running for too long. So in it was March the 10th, I signed up for the half marathon, and to be honest, I found the half marathon harder than the full marathon. I know that probably sounds fucking weird. No, it probably sounds like I'm probably chatting shit, but honestly, that's the truth. I found the half marathon a lot harder, and that's because I went into the half marathon with injured knees. So basically, I had really tight hips, and then I had really tight hips, really tight glutes, and like everything was completely like angling inwards. So when I'm running with this bad form, I'm getting so much impact. One, it's painful. Even if I go for like a little 5K run, it was painful on my hips and glutes. But then where I was like overtraining with bad form because of the tight hips, then I ended up getting injured knees. So I actually went into the half marathon not knowing if I could run. And I remember I was going really, really slow for like the first 3 to 5 kilometers in the half marathon because it was just like so painful. And I was thinking, like, I don't actually think I'm going to be able to do this. And if I do it, then my knees are going to be even more fucked after. So anyway, I carried on because I'd raised money, so I didn't want to pull out, and I wanted to do it as well. So I thought the only chance I've got is if they like warm up. So thankfully they did warm up on the half, and then where I was going really slow because my knees were pain, once the adrenaline kicked in, I like was able to start pushing myself and go faster. So I literally started sprinting around like Mo Farah, like an absolute idiot, and then it got to about halfway of the half marathon, and I was just completely burnt out. And while I was so busy with work, like the week before, I was so busy with work, I barely had like any sleep. So I was like sleep deprived, hunger deprived. So I've burnt myself up. I've like increased my heart rate, and now I'm like shit. I've got no food. I've got no energy source. I could see everyone had those little like gel pack things to get like a load of carbohydrates and sugar in, and I was running past all of them thinking, oh fuck, like I should have brought something with me. So I ran past a few shops, and then I was like, I should have gone in the shop because like I literally can't do another, whatever it was. I think it was like another 10K without having any form of energy in me. So I saw another shop and I thought, oh, this could be my only shot. So I jumped the barrier. I went into the shop, quickly necked a like a sugary Lucasade. I just needed some form of carbs in me. I go to pay, and then he's like, "Oh, you've got to make up the £3 minimum." I was like, I was worn out. You could see I was in the marathon as well. I was like, just put anything on. Like, I just pack of jelly beans in front of me. I was like, just put them on, just put them on. He's if you go and reach, like, it's only come to £2.55. So I was like, I don't care. Like, just make the £3 minimum. Like, I don't care what I have. So anyway, I was like, just put another pack of jelly beans on. I literally am not asked. Tried to pay my Apple Pay because obviously I'm not random with my wallet. And then my Apple Pay isn't working. It was like a really cold day, windy. You know how iPhones get in those kind of conditions. So my Apple Pay weren't working. So then it looked like I was just mugging off this guy in the shop for this Lucasade that I've already necked. So in the end, I'd reboot my phone, was able to pay with Apple Pay contactless, and then I wasted about 5 minutes in the shop. But then because I'd stopped running for like 5 minutes, when I then started running again, my muscles had all like tightened and stiffened up and like cooled down. And now I'm asking them to like reboot and start doing more, even though they're completely fatigued. So then I started getting like ridiculous. My quads pretty much gave in on me, and they had just like spasmed, and I was like really struggling. I was walking for like a fair bit of it, and then like running again, walking, running. My quad, and then like if you can see me, I'm just like hobbling over the line, and that was just the half marathon. So from that, I then learned, shit, I can't carry on running. If I want to do the full marathon, I need to change something. So I started doing yoga every morning to loosen up my hips and loosen up my glutes. And my hips were like ridiculously tight, but literally within about 2 weeks, it had like relieved some of the pain when I went out for a little run. I still had the knee pain. So once I had like got rid of that, it was okay. It wasn't too bad. But then there was other things. So then the food aspect, I knew that I needed to stock up on carbs for the entire week, otherwise I was going to burn out. Knew that I needed to take food on board as well. And then the other thing is I was like the complete opposite of a long distance runner. So if you see like long distance runners, they've got like big athletic legs, and then they've got like a little tiny up half. And then I was complete opposite. I'm coming in with my little chicken legs, and then I've got a top heavy half. So that's all impact. It's all like putting a lot more on my legs, a lot more on my knees. So I had to then purposely lose weight. So I've not trained like chest, back, arms since the half marathon because I just needed to drop weight. And every time I've been going to the gym, I've just been training legs. So I need to like balance out my physique basically. So I hadn't really run much at all. It's the half to the full, and everyone thinks that's a bit weird. But for me, cardio wasn't an issue. It was pain and it was tiredness. For me, I basically just listened to my body, and for me, those things were what needed to be addressed. So, like I say, I'd done the full. I stuck at a really consistent pace throughout. So I stuck at pretty much 9 minute miles throughout, just over 9 minute miles. And I was just waiting to hit the wall basically because I'd done the half, and then it was 2 laps so it was the half times 2 obviously to make the full. And it got to half, and I was thinking, feeling like a little bit fatigued, and I was just kind of waiting for what had happened with the half. So I was just waiting to hit the wall. My quads were I thought they were gonna give in. I thought I was gonna burn out. I thought I was gonna just like come over with like really like a load of hunger. But I didn't have any of that at all. It was almost I was in like cruise control, and I was like conserving my energy so well. I was never out of breath, and it was almost just like this had become the new form of walking. I know that sounds weird, but that's what it was like. So I was just going around on like almost cruise control, and then before I knew it, a few hours later, there's like 6 miles to go, and I'm thinking like I've got a lot left in me. I'm thinking I checked the time as well, and I was like my aim first of all was to get underneath 5 hours because my time for the half marathon was just underneath 2 hours. I was really fatigued. I thought double. I thought I'd be like happy to do it underneath 5 hours. But when I checked the time, I was like, shit, I might be able to fucking get underneath 4 hours here. And it's like 6 miles to go, so I started pacing it around. So I say pacing, I like up the pace quite a bit. Everyone else was like kind of dropping, or everyone else I was passing or like walking, and then I was just like pacing it down the ends. Literally for like the last 400 meters was pretty much like a sprint. But sad end to the story, didn't get underneath the 4 hours. But I know that if I was to do it again now, I'd definitely be able to get underneath the 4 hours. So not sure where I'm gonna go from here. Obviously, I'm not trying to be some like professional runner. I'm just sharing my insight of the marathon journey, because I definitely think anyone can do half marathon. I definitely think that if you do the half marathon and then you make the necessary changes, then you're able to also do the full marathon as well. So I think I think people see the marathon as this like really scary thing that only like the special among us will do, but realistically, it's not that bad. As in, like, it's gonna take a lot of hard work. It's gonna take mental mindset, like toughness, but like you can do it. So consider that